Welcome to another episode of the Middle of the Order podcast. My name is Andrew Dagostino, and we're back. I know I was slacking for the last 2 weeks, but I'm actually going to upload more of these because I think they're fun. I think they're awesome to do. And let's just, let's continue to build this channel. Let's continue to grow as a community. Let's continue to talk ball, and that's what we're here for. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. The Pirates, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Never thought I would say this. It can do spending money. The Pirates signed their 19-year-old rookie shortstop, Konnor Griffin, and the former number 9 overall pick to a massive 9-year, $140 million extension with incentives that could push towards $150 million. This is the largest contract in franchise history, surpassing Brian Reynolds' contract that he only signed a couple years ago. 8 years, $106 million deal. It is also one of the biggest deals ever given out to a player with almost no service time in Major League Baseball. I know Konnor Griffin just made his Major League debut a few days ago, but I mean, that's still the point, right? He hasn't played a lot of Major League Baseball. Kind of crazy that they gave him this amount of money unless they know something and know he will be good. And I'm sure the Pirates do, right? They do know that he's going to be good. That's why they made this risk and gave him the money up front. We saw this with other teams like Jackson Chourio doing it, signing his extension with Milwaukee before making his Major League debut. Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome, Kenny Lofton. If you think, go back and look at the 90s Indians, they did that a lot too. And the White Sox did it with Luis Robert Jr. and Eloy Jimenez. They went out, they paid these guys, they made the risk, right? This isn't anything new. So I want to put that to bed. Hustle out the box said that, this new trend, this is not a new trend. This has been going on in baseball for years. It's just uncommon because teams don't want to make these risks. So this contract ends in 2034. Konnor Griffin will be turning 28 years old and be 29 at the end of this contract. So he will be 28, turning 29. No opt-outs, no deferrals in this contract. That's a lot to process as a 19-year-old kid, but he seems pretty mature to make this decision and make Pittsburgh his home for majority of his prime in his career. I do want to make this funny point, dude. I was doing my research. So Konnor Griffin's deal, obviously I stated, ends in 2034. Bobby Bonilla will still be getting paid $1.19 million every July 1st until 2035. So his contract ends a year before Bonilla's, his national holiday is done. So I just thought that was funny. I just want to point that out. Hilarious, man. But the whole team, the coaching staff, they showed up to the press conference for Griffin and said the goal is to win a World Series for Pittsburgh. And this locks in the franchise cornerstone next to Paul Skeens because they are trying to win now. And I'll talk about this in a second when I go over just the current outlook of this Pittsburgh Pirates team. They're a fun team for me to talk about. I like talking about this team. Young club. I like talking about small markets because small markets don't really get a lot of attention in this day and age of Major League Baseball. And this extension isn't happening in a vacuum, right? The Pirates are already playing and winning baseball in April. This just makes excitement and actually, I think, grows the sport again in Pittsburgh. For a team that just shown that they don't really give a fuck and don't really want to win. They've been out. They haven't really played meaningful baseball since 2018. They haven't made the playoffs since 2015. And that 2018 season was just a total collapse. But anyways, as of April 9th, the Pittsburgh Pirates are 7-5 with a .583 win percentage, sitting third place in the National League Central. Just, a game behind the 8-4 Reds and Brewers. And that NL Central, man, I doubted them. I like to shit on them, but there's some good teams. The Reds they've got a lot of pitching depth, even with Hunter Green out. And the Brewers, we know what the Brewers can do, man. The Brewers just win. Pat Murphy is one of the best managers in all of baseball. They're just one of the most well-ran organizations in all of baseball. And Milwaukee they're a good team. They'll give the Dodgers, a test. They won't win in my eyes, but that's a story for another day. And their run differential, man, right now, Pirates +6, 54 runs scored, 48 allowed. The offense has really shown burst. That has been their biggest, flaw in the past couple seasons is for Pittsburgh. They have not been able to score a lot of runs with the elite pitching they've had with Paul Skeens when they had Andrew Haney, who was good for like a half, Mitch Keller, the name, so on and so forth. Bubba Chandler's been there. I think Jones is coming up sooner or later this year. He's going to be a big, big addition to that rotation. Young kid, former top 100 prospect. Pirates have a lot of young arms that are just really good. So they're going to have good pitching. Then so far with the guys that they have, pitching's been solid, like I said. Team ERA at 3.60 with strong strikeout numbers and manageable walks, man. So, I mean, they've been strong at home too. Just want to put that out there, man. They took a series from the Reds already. They've just played competitive baseball. They played some good teams. I mean, they were competitive against the Mets, who I see as a good team. So yeah, man, I like this team a lot, and I'm gonna get some key contributors in here. O'Neal Cruz batting .295, .931 OPS, anchoring that middle of the order. He's going to be huge. If he goes, they go. Brian Reynolds, face of the franchise or was before Paul Skeens get there. Excuse me, but you get my point, right? We've seen what the switch hitting outfielder can do. He can produce good seasons offensively. The defense recently has been an issue, but maybe he cleans that up, right? I want to talk about the recent additions offensively for this team. I'm going to start off with the worst one. Marcell Ozuna has been terrible. He's 35. He looks just a step slower. Swing, bat speed looks down. Power's not there. Attack's not there. Swinging outside the zone more, which has been an issue all of his career. But man, Marcell Ozuna has not been good for them, especially as a guy that's not versatile, can't really play the field. He's just kind of a DH only. That is a big issue for this Pirates team. That is the one negative offensively that I could think of when I look at, the club as a whole. I'm sure more will pop up as I go. But Ryan O'Hearn, man, great pickup. First multi-year signing for this ball club since Michael Padina. When he was free agent, I think in 2019, 2018, something like that. It's been a while for the Pirates. It's been a while, Pirates fans. You finally got one, and you got a good one. Ryan O'Hearn has had some great years for Baltimore. Went over in a trade a year ago with Ramon Laureano to the Padres, and, didn't really produce as well as he did in Baltimore, but so reasonable numbers, right? Came over now, game changer for this Pirates lineup, man. Game changer. Just providing consistent production and just getting on base. And another guy that the Pirates got that I really liked and I wanted my Guardians to get, Brandon Lau. He 30 home runs a year ago, one of the best second basemen in all of baseball, plays good defense. This guy can rake, and he's shown the ability to right now, and he's only going to get better. So both of these guys just, getting on base, consistent production, you know what you're going to get out of them, right? So that's huge for the Pirates. O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds, Ryan O'Hearn, Brandon Lau. Boom, boom, boom. Even with Konnor Griffin coming up, not really shown a lot of promise with the bat so far. That, is just adjusting. It's just timing, right? We got to give him time. He's a young kid, 19 years old, only played like 3-4 games in the majors. So we'll give him time. We're going to give him leeway right there because that's the right thing to do for these rookies. It's one of the hardest things in all of sports is to go from AAA to Major League pitching. Two different skill sets. Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller, they have two of the most reliable front of the rotation arms in all of baseball. Not like a high end, but I mean, Paul Skeens, Cy Young Award winner, hasn't really pitched his best ball yet this season. He will. Give him time. Mitch Keller has just had a stellar outing the other night. You know what you're going to get out of those two. You know that they're going to be successful in what they do. Innings pitch. Albert Chandler, he looks good. That kid has a lot of stuff. His stuff plays. Chris is really high on him. I'm very high on him. So watch out for these Pirates rotation arms, man. They got some young guys. They have another guy, I think Seth Hernandez is his name. Guy in AAA, right-handed pitcher. I'm not really a prospect guy, but I kind of scroll throughout there, see the possibilities of where these guys fit in there. High electric fastball, some good stuff there for him. But the outlook, man, the course set for this Pirates lineup in general, man. Griffin, Skeens, Cruz, and Reynolds. This is 2026, 2030. They're trying to win now. They could be in the wild card mix early this year. And, the issue with what they're doing right now is they're going all in to win. They haven't really won as a franchise recently, and that could be a risk. They have been rebuilding. But anyways, I want to know in the comments, right down below in the comments, because I think, did Bob Nutting change the narrative? Did the narrative change about Bob Nutting? I think so. I think it absolutely does. This extension, this offseason, the first ever, $100 million payroll for years. Nutting, was baseball's favorite cheap-ass owner. There's a bunch of them in Major League Baseball, but Nutting was kind of like the face of it because Pittsburgh fans are louder than all these other fan bases. Let's be real. They want to win. They want to be there for their Pirates, right? Endless rebuilds, low payroll, sell the team chance, man. Anytime I'm at PNC Park, I hear that. Pittsburgh only develops stars to flip them, and that's just the sad reality of these small markets right now. I don't want to get into CBA talk, but they're going to have to do something about that because this is the only, one of the only leagues that happens for teams like Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Detroit is dealing with that with Scooble right now. They got to find a way to keep their stars, and what Pittsburgh is doing is a way to keep their stars. It is a gamble, right? So that is something to keep in mind. I'm just going to say this. Nutting did go on record. He said, quote, "This reflects a commitment today in the future. This is an important day for Pirates baseball." He called it meaningful commitment to this team, the city, and our fans. He admitted there's an urgency for 2026. Like I said, dude, they need to win now. They have Paul Skeens. They know they can't afford the $300 million contract he's going to want. Griffin's talent and character and his maturity is why they signed this deal, according to owner Nutting. Now, Ben Cherding even went out and said, too, like, I don't have a quote or anything, but they wanted to get this extension done. And you could tell, I was hearing rumors about this before spring training. They just like this kid from the jump, right? He had a great year in the minors, a 165 WRC plus. This dude's just a stud. Griffin is he's only going to get better with time. And, they didn't have to pay the 19-year-old with zero service time this much money. They could have kept him, control for cheap for years. Instead, they're investing big. While, the team's already 7-5, they're playing meaningful baseball for the first time in a while. In April, man. And it feels like the past couple of years and the past, decade of Pirates baseball, they were out of it. Not necessarily eliminated. Like, you can't really be eliminated in April, but dude, you can be eliminated in the end of May and June. You're 20 games under 500. You're just out of it. And they finally have talent. They finally have the guy. I feel like Don Kelly fits that roster, the rotation lineup, that group of guys just goes around them. They showed it. Had around a 500 record when he started taking over for them. But this buys Nutting some real goodwill in Pittsburgh, man. The worst owner in baseball memes are going to finally stop, and we're starting to see the strongest signal yet. Right? Pirates want to compete now. They've really showed that. They've shown the door. They've thrown us out of that. Pittsburgh's a joke thing. As of now, they're 7-5. Moving on, man. After talking some Pirates, I just, wanted to get that off my chest. Yankees and Dodgers right now, two of the top dogs. Yankees right now sitting at 8-4, best record in the American League, only a half game in front of Cleveland, currently leading the American League East. And the Dodgers, man, 9-3, best record in all baseball, best record in the National League. They just look unstoppable, and they're just dominating. Yankees did lose today, 1-0 to the Athletics. Got shut out. But if we're taking a look at, the games they have played so far, they've looked really good. They've looked better than what I projected them to be. Now, that things could change. This is, April 9th, right? There's so much baseball left to play. But as of now, I think New York's the best team in the American League. Things can change, like I said. But I don't think anybody has a legitimate threat to cruise past the Dodgers in the series. LA's just too stacked overall, man. You think about Kyle Tucker, they just added. They already have Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Andy Pajas has been on fire. Will Smith's still there. Like, just think about all the guys they have. The Edwin Diaz in the back of the bullpen, Tyler Glass, now just so many names. Blake Snell's 2-time Cy Young Award winner. You get it. They're just so good. They won 2 World Series for a reason. But here's some teams, dude, that I think could compete. I think that they can give them a run. I don't think that they'll win. I don't think they'll win a series, but Milwaukee. Milwaukee's always there for me. I think Milwaukee is just consistently going to be a good baseball team. Excellent rotation, often sneaky good, consistently top 10 in runs and OBP early in the season. They were the National League runner-up, if you didn't remember. They didn't play well. They got swept, but they were the runner-up a year ago. They know how to win in October, and don't sleep on them. Because Pat Murphy, man, one of the best managers. He knows how to run a clubhouse. He knows how to run a team. Just going to point that out there. Milwaukee is a threat. Next team I got, and you'll probably look at me like, Andrew, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? They were trash last year. The Atlanta Braves. They're 8-5. Their offense is tied with the Dodgers for the highest run differential and 34 for your run differential gooners out there. And that's scary good, dude. With Drake Baldwin's emergence, they have Ronald Acuna. They have Ozzie Albies. Dom Smith is mashing righties. Mauricio Dubon, who they added in trade from the Houston Astros, is providing contact speed and solid defense for them at shortstop. And with the absence of Han Sang Kim, who, was injured early before spring training, Dubon's filled that role perfectly. They have one of the best lineups, one of the scariest lineups. I didn't even mention Matt Olson yet. Top 10 first baseman, just great glove. Dude's a stud. And I haven't even talked about the rotation. The rotation right now is number one in all baseball with a 1.82 ERA. Bryce Elder has pitched well. Chris Sale has pitched well. Some of the other names that are on there, Ronaldo Lopez, hitting dudes with a baseball. He's pitching well as well. But, they don't even have Hurston Waldrep and Spencer Schwallenbach, who are almost dominant at the end of last year. So the Braves are going to be a team to watch out for. I think they can give the Dodgers a run. The Dodgers are so good that you have to add something unnecessary to beat them. I think you're going to have, if you're Atlanta, you're going to have to get CJ Abrams or something like that. You're going to have to get a superstar. I don't know. Another team, this is all maybe recency bias from previous years, from teams that actually gave the Dodgers a run. I didn't really want to put San Diego on there. That's why I didn't, because I don't think San Diego is as good as people think. I think they're not good. That's just me. But the Philadelphia Phillies, man, they got pedigree. They have the arms. When they get hot, they're hot. Man, they can beat anybody. They're not quite there yet, but the talent is undeniable. With Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Trey Turner, Brandon Marsh, anything's possible, man. They have guys, unfortunately, Sosa, who I really like, put the needle in his arm. But they got guys on the bullpen that they brought in free agency. That bullpen's looking good with Johan Duran and Brad Keller, too, at the back end. So they have guys, they have the names, they have the talent. They just got to put it together, right? Rob Thompson's got to, push the boys a little bit. He's got to figure it out. They're not really fast starters, but they'll get there. They're 6-6 right now. I'm not too worried about the Phillies, but I think as a team, LA is clearly the top dog. They won't cruise by Milwaukee, Atlanta, or Philly, but they're still the best team in all baseball. Don't get me wrong. Putting it out there, I wanted to talk about, these teams and who's impressed me so far as of April 9th. Who are the best teams? Who are the best teams going to be in October? We don't know right now, but we can see with our own eyes who have impressed us the most, right? Moving on to the American League. Dude, as of now, New York is the best team in the American League, only by a half game, but I don't think they're so much better than everybody else. The American League is so wide open. It's anybody's league. I'm going to start off with the two teams that are not playing really well. Detroit, they just got swept by the Twins. They're 4-9. Maybe the offense is going to put it together. They're anemic. They're terrible. They just had two guys run into each other. Prayers in the chat. But they have the pitching. Framber Valdez, Jack Flaherty has been terrible. I think Verlander's already on the IL. Shocker. And Tarek Skubal. I mean, Casey Maisu, anything's possible. Pitching wins you games. Have a good bullpen. The offense just needs to step it up. Guys like Kerry Carpenter have not been good. Javier Baez has been nearly unplayable. That's one of the worst contracts, I think, in the history of sports. But anyways, man, I just want to put the Tigers out there because I think that they could be good if they could put it together. But right now, they're just kind of proving me wrong, and they're kind of showing me there's a joke. I mean, they're literally in last place behind the Chicago White Sox as I'm speaking. So I'm going to put them there as an if, right? As an if they can put it together. It's also April 9th, right? And continue to say that throughout the show if I already have. The Blue Jays, man, 5-7. They beat the Dodgers yesterday, but they've not impressed me at all whatsoever. Dylan Cease, who they brought in, has pitched stellar. It's pitched as well as you can, right? With the injury of Cody Ponce and Trey Savage, they have questions in that rotation, but the offense has got questions themselves. Guys are not really hitting well for them. Jesus Sanchez, who they brought over in a trade for Houston, has been really good for them. Been a main thumper, probably is the highest right now, OPS-wise. Vladdy's going to heat up soon. Not really worried about him. George Springer had a double off the wall yesterday. His clutch gene. So they have the guys. They just got, give them time. Blue Jays will be there. Seattle, I'm really surprised about how poorly they've started. Sitting at 4-9 right now. Both have pitching in a lineup. Just pieces to pose a real threat to the Yankees. Seattle does, right? We know Brian Wu. We know Logan Gilbert. We know George Kirby. Bryce Miller will be there potentially at the end of the month or sooner than you think. Kid's a stud if he could put it together. But Cal Raleigh needs to go. Cal Raleigh needs to start getting going for the Mariners. Once he gets going, Julio Rodriguez is going to continue to do his thing in the second half. Hopefully he can, turn it up in the first half because that will produce more wins for the Mariners. When J.P. Crawford comes back, most of those questions will be answered. That 1 through 9 is going to be scary, fully healthy. They'll get there. They'll turn things around. I picked them to win the World Series for a reason, but Right now, they're just proving me wrong, but it's also April 9th. I'm a big believer in the Boston Red Sox. Despite the bad start of them starting at 4-8, the underlying numbers and the talent say otherwise. They'll just bounce back, man. This team scores runs. This team has pitching. Garrett Crochet, Ranger Suarez. If you've watched Major League Baseball for the past decade, you know Ranger Suarez is one of the best big game pitchers in all baseball. That's just such a good fit for the Boston Red Sox with the lineup that they have. That 1-2 punch, 2 lefties at the front, ball game. I mean, that's basically 2 wins for me if Ranger Suarez can continue to pitch like he did a year ago. Now, the other questions I have for the Boston Red Sox, Sonny Gray has pitched better as of late, but can he continue to put it up? That's a great 3. But Brian Bello has been a disaster. Andrew Bailey has him throwing more curveballs, more off speed earlier in the counts, and just getting ahead with the sinker. Just get ahead, stay ahead, man. That's his issue. He needs to figure that out. Hopefully he does. But the lineup is off to a slow start, as I said earlier, but I'm not really concerned about their lineup. I think that they have so many big names at Trevor Story, Roman Anthony, Wilson Contreras, their outfield, Jarren Duran, like Willie Abreu, Cedar Rafaela. Hopefully he just blooms and blossoms. I've been waiting for he kind of broke out a year ago, but I'm waiting for his breakout season where he becomes almost an all-star. But hopefully the Red Sox can get there. And my final team that I think poses the biggest threat to New York, other than those, 3 I've said. As of now, this team is sitting a half game out of first place in the American League, sitting at the top of the American League Central. This is the only team that has beaten the Dodgers in a series. That is my Cleveland Guardians. I don't think that they would beat the Yankees in the series, so don't take that the wrong way. I'm just saying they'll give them a ride for their money. I think these other teams are better than Cleveland, unless Cleveland continues to pitch the way they're pitching and their offense takes a massive jump. But as of now, they're right there challenging for the best record in the American League with an elite pitching staff, leading the league in strikeouts the last 2 weeks. They just, like I said, they just took a series against the Dodgers and Chavez Ravine. What do you want from them? Offensively, man, Jose Ramirez has not been great right now. Slow start, but he's going to pick it up. We know that. Chase DeLauter, man, tied for the league in home runs. I've been preaching this all offseason that he needs to be big for this lineup, and he has. He's been a huge piece. Now, the issue for Cleveland, and I'll talk about this later today in Bridge to October with Cooper Smith, later tonight. My issue with Cleveland is they need to find a 1 through 9 that works. Rhys Hoskins looked great yesterday. 3 doubles. Can he step up and just be a consistent man? Because Kyle Manzardo, 3rd unluckiest hitter in all of baseball right now, has not looked good at all. So they have a lot of questions still. But Cleveland, I think, just a good matchup for New York. If with the pitching that they have, the defense they play, the chaos Cleveland pushes on the bases with the small ball, guards ball, the bloop singles. And now they have power with DeLauter, Hoskins, and Manzardo. They will give New York a run for the money. All these teams will. I think the American League is as wide open as I said. Right. So, but those are the teams I think, could win the American League. It's anybody's game. Yankees look great, but Cleveland, Boston, Toronto, and Seattle all have paths. Just buckle in, and it's going to be a fun ride towards the end of the year. My final segment I got for you fellas today, and we're going to play a game, and I want you to do the same in the comments if you're watching the video, if you made it this far, whether on Spotify or YouTube. Make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe. But anyways, buying or selling player stock. So we're going to wrap it up and do this the right way, guys. So I got 5 guys that I'm buying. And my first guy is Jordan Walker, the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm a full Jordan Walker believer. I've been a full Jordan Walker believer even before I started the podcast. Dude's hitting 300 right now with the 1.14 OPS, 5 home runs already, multiple extra base hits, including a hot streak with 4 home runs in 5 games and a ball hit over 450 feet. Dude, he's a stud. He's made a nice little adjustment, man. He's made a good adjustment. He's not chasing as much as he was. Higher OBP this year compared to last year already. Exit velo's up. Barrel rate's up. This isn't BABIP luck. The metrics scream breakout. So take the tools. He's going to have a 30-plus home run year if he's an everyday right fielder. He's finally putting together. So buy Jordan Walker of the St. Louis Cardinals. My next guy, and I've already talked about him, but I'm going to continue to talk about him because he's just good. He's not a fluke. He's not a fraud. And that's Chase DeLauter of my Cleveland Guardians. Consistent stud already in 2026. 75 average, 5 homers, 11 RBIs, just in 40 at-bats. He hasn't played every game. I gotta tell you, he had a foot injury. He continues to have soreness, and he's not always healthy. But, dude, the power, the average, the plus defense. Dude crushed the ball off the 19-foot wall against Cole Reagans yesterday. Left on left. Just take him. He belongs here. He's going to be an all-star. So take and buy the stock and run with it for Chase DeLauter. Next guy I have for you, and he hit his 4th home run today as I'm recording this, Sal Stewart of the Cincinnati Reds. Swing plus versatile equals big money for 2026. With a 1.154 OPS, 4 homers, 9 walks, 3 steals, elite OBP, extra base hit pop. Already he could play first base, third base, DH, sometimes even play second. I love the short, compact swing. So, dude, buy when it comes to Sal Stewart, fellas. Man, this guy, you probably going to be like, well, who the fuck is this guy? Because he is hooping for the Colorado Rockies. TJ Rumfield, 6'5" power bat with elite metrics. In 2026 so far, batting .368 with a 1.37 OPS and 38 at-bats, 2 homers, raking at Coors Field, 94th percentile in xOBA. Dude, this guy has legit pop plus plate discipline. This isn't a fluke, man. Buy before the league catches on TJ Rumfield. If he's available in your fantasy league, take him now. Like, pause the video, go on the waiver wire, pick up TJ Rumfield at first base if you don't have a good first baseman. Final guy on my buy list, guy I've been high on for a while, made a transition from being a reliever a few years ago to a starter, is Jose Soriano of the Los Angeles Angels. I'm buying because he's 3-0 with a ridiculous 0.3 starts, 20 innings pitched. He's allowed 7 hits, 1 earned run, 6 walks, and in 21 strikeouts, he's .65 whip. His outing against the Braves the other night, threw 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, struck out 10. I was, ready to sell because, I don't know if he could, match these stuff for a full year, but he's just dominating hitters and limiting hard contact. So I would buy and just be a little careful with Jose Soriano because I don't know if he could do it, but he's a reliable arm at the top of the rotation, and now I'm all the way back in. Buy the stock and just hold on tight, man. He's a guy that he's a fun guy to keep an eye on. Good sinker ball pitcher, high velocity stuff, different arm angle, different stuff. So Jose Soriano is a fun name to watch. And for the sell, man, I didn't want to do top prospects or rookies that have not played well for the first couple of games because I think that's just rude. It's one of the hardest transitions in the whole baseball, like I said today. But I don't know. I'm gonna get a bad look because I also picked a couple old ass veterans, man, that have looked terrible, but they've also gotten everyday at bats, everyday opportunities, and some guys, even young pitchers that are considered one of the best in baseball. But dude, I'm telling you to sell now. I'm telling you to sell. First guy, Mike Yastrzemski of the Braves. 211 average with a 634 OPS. He has looked terrible at bats. He just looks completely empty. He came off a solid 2025, but he's 18th percentile in xOBA. Expect just production to go way down, man. He's going to lose at bats. They're going to find somebody to take that role because the Braves cannot lose out on power. They cannot lose out on just hitting in general. They have a great offense. They need more if they want to compete with the Dodgers. Like I said, the power's vanished. Just sell. He's not the same guy right now. So sell him, Mike Yastrzemski. Sorry, Mike. You're out. Next guy, Jung Hoo Lee of the Giants. Dude, as of now, he's been fucking terrible. Not going to lie. 143 average, 438 OPS in 42 at-bats. He has no homers, 5 RBIs. Okay, that take it with a grain of 42, whatever. 42 at-bats. But, dude, 8th percentile in offensive run value. He's just bad offensively. Not to mention, this is the same dude. I'm going to get to the defense. This is the same dude that's played in center field that was so bad that the Giants had to go out and get Harrison Bader so they can move him to right field. And I get it. Park's a tough outfield to play. It's up there with Kauffman. Kauffman used to be a deep outfield until they did the renovations this year. But the alleys in right and center are a lot in Oracle. I'll give him that. But dude, just horrible defensively, even on the road. He's supposed to be a centerpiece, but he's a black hole on both sides. So just sell it and no reason to hold on Jung Hoo Lee. Get him out of here. The last guy before I wrap up the show, guys, and I appreciate you for sticking with me throughout the show. This has been great. Andrew Abbott of the Cincinnati Reds. In 2026 so far, He's 0-1 with the 3.18 ERA and 17 innings pitch. You might be saying, dude, Andrew, what's your fucking point, dude? He's hooping. 3.18 ERA. Dude, his expected ERA is 4.16, and a red flag is he's 11th percentile in offense off-speed value. 11th percentile in off-speed value. Change-up, slider, getting crushed. Reason for fall-off is the off-speed pitches, like, were his weapons a year ago, are now liabilities. If you watched spring training, dude, you saw Andrew Abbott get crushed. And the reason why was because he could not get anybody out with the secondary stuff. His command's great. I know that. But the strikeout value is going way down. It is way below. It's at 15%. He's living on weak contact and luck. Take the ERA. It looks okay. But for now, the underlying stuff screams regression. Sell before the wheels come off completely. I'm out on Andrew Abbott. Get him out of here. That's it for this episode. I appreciate you guys for joining in.